The Thursday Afternoon Chat. Your favorite artists with JR.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome a first-timer to the show? It is Bodie. How are you, mate?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Hey, these first-time interviews almost feel like a job interview, except both of us are applying, and so we just sort of get to know. we just kind of get to know each other. Do you know what I mean?
I get that. We're hired already, though.
We are.
That's out of the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it's just salary that we still need to discuss. But the actually around our building, your name. We just started playing Whispers in the Wind, so like
sick.
Until I saw that pull up on my screen, you were just a name that kept getting floated. Oh, hey, I heard Bodie is in town, and I'm like, I got like 4 friends in my phone named Bodie, which everyone does, you know. One of them passed away, and I'm like, which one do I delete? Like, I have to go through. It's like the new name. Everybody's got so many Bodies that they know. You know?
Totally.
But so
I was always the only Bodie growing up, and then now I feel like every child on the playground when I'm with my kids I'm like hearing my name screamed everywhere, and it's the most disorienting thing in the world because I've never had to deal with that before.
Right. Yeah. Are you in Texas right now?
I am in California. I'm in Orange County.
Why did I have Texas? I'm thinking Forrest Frank.
I don't know.
That's what it was.
Funny enough, I think he moved to California too.
Oh, did he? Okay.
I don't know.
It just sounded like something cool to say.
Yeah. His son is also named Bodie, by the way.
Really?
Very frustrating. Adding to the population of Bodies, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember that? This is totally not how I planned on starting this, but there was like a faith-based ska band named Denver and the Mile High Orchestra. Denver and the Mile High Orchestra. Okay. Lead singer is here in town, and he and I run into each other, and somehow we got to talking to him. My son's name is Boston, like the city. And I was like, he's like, my son's name is Boston. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding. And his second child was Kansas, and my daughter's name is Kansas.
No way.
I'm like, how does that this was all pointless, and I didn't even mean to go here, but there we are. Yeah.
No one's original. No one's original anymore, it seems, huh?
Yeah. So you're a like, I can't even be unique, you know? How long are you born and raised, Cali?
More or less. I actually did live in Dallas for 2 years in middle school, so it doesn't really count. But yes, born and raised California.
Okay, SoCal?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. SoCal. I lived in Central Coast for 4 years, but aside from that, yeah, it's been Southern California.
Okay, I became a father in NorCal, and it's two different worlds.
Yes. Yes. Yes, definitely different.
Yeah. I want to introduce our audience to Whisper in the Wind. And it's probably a story that you've told to radio stations and interviews for the past year, nonstop. But one more time, if you wouldn't mind just giving me just kind of the DNA of where this came from.
Yeah, totally. This song means a lot to me. Partially too, because my goal, I remember talking to Sony Provident, my label that I'm partnered with right now, and telling them, hey, if I lock in with you guys, like I can't guarantee I'm going to be the radio guy because my music's just a little bit left of center of what kind of normally goes for radio. And I'm just going to make music that I feel God inspires me to write. And so this song is extra special because that was my heart behind sonically. You know, we just wanted to write a song that felt like me, heart cry, you know, what God's placed in my heart and the people I was writing with. And so to see it on stations like y'all, it's just so encouraging because it's like, wow, I'm just staying focused on where God has me, and it's still being able to get expanded, and you know, more people are hearing it than I ever thought. So really special. But the meaning behind the song, really, I was with some friends, and we were just talking about what it looks like to hear God's voice. And I was actually in a session in the morning that we didn't write Whisper in the Wind with, but the topic came up of when Jesus is with his disciples and they're like, Lord, teach us how to pray. And that's where we get the Lord's Prayer. The specific usage of the word pray in that context, directly translated from the Aramaic text, is, Lord, teach us how to set a trap for, or how to capture the thoughts of God. And ironically, we didn't even write about that, but I took that information into my PM session that afternoon where I wrote Whisper in the Wind. And I was just talking to my guys. I'm like, this is a pretty interesting thought of, man, like I know prayer to be a means of communication. I know prayer to be a means of interceding. I know prayer to be a means of stirring up our faith and asking God to do things and, an exercise of faith. But seeing it in the light of, I just want to know your voice so well. I just want to be able to capture your thoughts and adapt them and adopt them to my thoughts. Like I want to know you so well that I can blend in so well to, I can set a trap for it and actually capture your thoughts and allow them to become my thoughts. That was kind of like an aha moment for me. And it kind of led us to chatting about, man, so many times we've seen God move, maybe at like a summer camp or for young adults and youth students that I'm talking to about the song. I'll often be like, "Hey, raise your hand if you've been to a summer camp that just set you on fire, just got you so passionate and just lit up for the Lord." And then I say, don't raise your hand here, but how many of you go back home and your life looks the same? And you saw God move in this mighty way in one situation. You come home and you're still addicted to whatever, or you're still depressed, or you're still battling the things that you thought, now that you experience God, everything's going to be different. Everything's going to be better. And it led us to writing a song really illustrating, man, just as much as God moves in these mighty moments, we can't expect him to move the same way every time or look the same way every time. And it's tempting in those seasons to think, well, man, God, if you're not going to do what you did then here, maybe you don't care. Maybe you don't love me. Maybe you don't hear my prayers. And so ultimately the song is identifying, just as much as you move in the wind, as much as you move in the fiery, miraculous, God shaking, or not God shaking, earth shaking, earth shattering moments, I'd say more often than not, I'm going to see God move in the stillness of his still small voice, the quietness of the prayer place, the prayer closet, the secret place. And that's kind of what we want to identify. God moves in the big moments, but more often than not, he is with us in the stillness, in the whisper of his spirit.
It's a very interesting topic. It's a very interesting conversation that a lot of Christians have to square with is, I love you, you love me. How do we talk? When I talk to a friend or a coworker or a spouse, I can get instant feedback. But with you, the one I'm supposed to love more than anybody, I can hear moments of silence. I mean, one of the craziest stories to me is before Jesus even showed up at the Nativity, that the Israelites had to go 400 years of nothing from God. Like absolute silence for 400 years. So you can imagine if that's my generation, I don't know how many generations are per 100 years, 3 or whatever. That's like 9 generations of Israelites that hadn't heard a single thing. And like, if you're on that back end of the 400 years right before the Nativity, like your great, 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 great grandfathers haven't even heard a word from God.
Yeah.
Like you can be. Yeah. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on this as somebody who kind of just wrote a song about hearing from God, just because this rocked me the other day, Bodie, and I just wanted to, this was not on my plan, but I think it's pretty cool. I don't even know where I got it, but it's talking about prayer, that God's primary goal in prayer is your faith. It's not about the answers that come to you. It's the intimacy developed in the process. And I was so like, good. I'm like, I got some things that I can't even share on the radio that I've been praying for that are very hurtful things. And I'm like, that's why the title of Whisper in the Wind, I'm like, hello, how many times do I have to pray? My motives are good. Yeah. I'm praying for good things. But when somebody said this, he wants companionship with his children. Seek, knock, and don't stop. It's not about the answers. It's him wanting to be involved in my life. He wants to give me good things like a good father would, but the answers come in his timing. But his goal in the whole thing is to bring me close and into oneness with him, not to give me the things I'm asking for. I was like,
so good.
Like,
so good.
Like, okay, so this whole thing isn't about, did I pray it right? Did I have no sin currently in my sphere? Now you can hear, this is about a father and a son story. And it's you wanting to be near to me, not just to give me my Amazon cart kind of a deal. So I just thought that was cool. I'm going to bounce off that.
That's so good.
I'm going to bounce off that and go into this. Where, if it comes to your mind, where is the craziest place you heard God's Spirit speak to you, or God whisper something to you?
I hear from God in the shower often.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's crazy or if it's just weird.
Yeah.
I'd say that was a big one for me because it was a, not that you're asking to go into specifics here, but it
Yeah.
was in a season where I was navigating if I wanted to be a Christian artist or stay kind of more broad and do music that's a little bit more secular,
Hmm.
audience focused, still very much honoring the Lord, but not as directly overtly Christian. And I remember I was battling it. I was in talks with Provident at the time. I wasn't really interested because I just really felt like, I was supposed to go this way. And I remember telling God, Lord, I can't reach both types of people, the churched and the unchurched, if I do Christian music. And I felt the Lord say very strongly, that's not your decision to make.
Oh wow.
And so it was in the shower, to answer your question. In the shower, weird place to hear God convict me, but he smacked me in the face pretty hard with that one.
Was this while doing cleaning, or were you enjoying just the hot? You know, where you're
I think I was enjoying the hot at that
okay.
point. I was just standing there. Yeah,
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 it's
yeah.
it's that moment where you're just like, I know I'm done, but this is good. I'm just gonna sit here.
Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
that's great. Last one as we roll here. Let's. I wanted to kind of let you speak to our audience, which the fact that they're listening to a radio right now means they still know how to find a radio, whereas my children. My children, like, okay, what do I? Both of my girls have bought new cars in the past year, and it doesn't even have a knob, a dial. And so, but for you making music in your conversations with the record label, what is the process now? There's, okay, get these songs to radio, but now YouTube is a player. Now Spotify is a player.
Yeah.
As the one who makes the music, what things do you have to think about now? And okay, a song is done. I hope it goes. How does that all work for you now? How confusing does it
Right.
get?
Well, I think if I was still independent, it would be a lot more confusing because I don't know a lot of the worlds that go into this. But now that I'm with a team that really believes in me and everyone has kind of their place and role to play, it's not as confusing or scary for me. I honestly, my goal is just to make music that gets me really excited, make music that is sharing where I'm at in my faith journey, and just being as true and authentic as I can in the creative process. Outside of that, I just want to make cool stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, my team kind of helps with the logistical side of it that is kind of the more monstrous side. So as I said at the beginning, I never really anticipated even being on Christian radio, but thanks to um, right now, Whisper in the Wind just being a really special song, and thanks to the team for connecting it with people like you. But
Yeah.
yeah, luckily I don't have to deal with too much of the logistical side.
Yeah, I'd be the same as you. I'm so close. I'm like, is this gonna end up on that YouTube thing? Like,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
TikTok? Are you guys gonna put me behind a
yeah.
girl dancing? Like, really? Like, how does this work? I don't know how all that works. But as a radio person, I've had to change, Bodie, because I was around in 1999, first doing a first air shift, and it was just simple. I push this button. I just get better at being funny or move the emotional meter, and that's it. At the end of the day, you either did that or you didn't, and whoever was listening was listening.
Yeah,
Now I have a team of people that's like, I mean, the fact that I've got cameras recording this, I'd never had to think about stuff like that before because, oh, we're going to take the chat of you and I talking about Whisper in the Wind, and that's going to end up on a Instagram reel. And like, so you have to
yeah,
adjust. And there's some people older than me that just like, oh, I don't want to adjust. I don't want to,
mm,
I'm 10 years from retirement. Why do I have to learn why to make an Instagram reel of something that I used to
right,
push a button for? But you have to
right,
adjust or die, I think. So anyway,
totally.
maybe that doesn't apply to you because I'm old and you're not, and this is the world you this is the world you were born into, and so it's not as weird for you. But hey, I'm loving the song.
Sure.
And when can our audience? Let's see, we're on in the southeast from Chattanooga all the way down to North Miami, so we are the SEC, I guess. But you making runs through the southeast at some point this year? Or you were just
I
here?
am. I'm coming. I'll be in Chattanooga. Let's see. I'm pulling up my dates right now.
Is this a paper day
Um,
planner?
this is no, it's a digital
Okay.
digital day planner. Let's see. I'll be at J Fest in May.
Okay.
We're partying hard. But yeah, I'm coming through that whole side.
Okay.
I'm going on tour all in May and coming through your neck of the woods, up and down. So
Well, it'd be
come
good.
come hang out with me.
Yeah, it'd be good to come say hey when you're in town. Hey, love the
Yep.
song. Appreciate the time. Good to get a first meeting in.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
The Thursday Afternoon Chat. Your favorite artists with Jay Off.